Red Bull is excited about the FIA's new rules. Ferrari is ready to get Hamilton a new race engineer, and big changes have been planned for when. The future of Monaco. Let's get into the latest F1 news. Ferrari's team principal, Frédéric Vasseur, recently shared his thoughts on the upcoming flexi-wing rule changes set for the Spanish Grand Prix, which he believes could significantly alter the competitive landscape in Formula One. This mid-season adjustment could be crucial, especially for teams that have struggled at the start of the season. After a disappointing performance, with Ferrari currently trailing 152 points behind constructors, championship leaders McLaren, Vasseur is optimistic about the potential for a turnaround. These changes implemented by the FIA, which include more stringent tests for front wings, are expected to impact various teams' performance levels. As the teams prepare for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, the first European race of the season, many are expected to introduce upgrade packages. However, Vasseur believes that adaptations needed to meet the new regulations in Barcelona could lead to a more seismic shift in performance. Speaking from Ferrari's Maranello headquarters, he highlighted the difficulty of achieving significant upgrades after years of stable regulations. Instead, teams are now focusing on finer details to gain an edge. Vasseur specifically pointed out that the changes in front-wing regulations could reshape the championship picture, emphasizing, "This could change a little bit the picture of the championship." He noted that while the front-runners may maintain their positions after Spain, the performance shifts could indeed be game-changing. Moreover, Vasseur's comments resonate with sentiments expressed by other teams, including McLaren, whose drivers are currently leading the standings and have expressed confidence that the rule changes won't hinder their progress. Red Bull's team principal, Christian Horner, has also shown interest in the implications of this technical directive, suggesting a wider intrigue among competitors regarding the adjustments. As teams gear up for the Spanish Grand Prix, the next few races will be pivotal. The flexi-wing modifications might not only redefine how teams approach their car designs, but could also catalyze a shakeup in the championship standings, making for an exciting continuation of the season. Fans and analysts alike are eager to see how these adjustments will play out in the fiercely competitive world of Formula One. The FIA is tightening the rules once again, reducing the permitted flex on rear wings from 15mm to 10mm. This adjustment comes with a delay in implementation, allowing teams time to adapt their designs accordingly. Moving on to one of the most talked about drivers this season, Lewis Hamilton has faced a rocky transition since joining Ferrari. There was significant excitement surrounding his arrival from Mercedes, yet results have been disappointing. Currently, Hamilton sits 7th in the driver's standings, trailing behind teammate Charles Leclerc. Hamilton has had glimpses of success, including a sprint victory in China and a podium finish in Miami. However, he struggled more than Leclerc in both qualifying and full race distances. Team principal Vasseur acknowledges the car's shortcomings have complicated Hamilton's adaptation after a dominant 12 years with Mercedes. Vasseur stated, "The car is not at the level we expected," highlighting that poor performance makes it tougher for Hamilton to settle in. He explained that when a driver is consistently winning, adaptation comes much easier. Despite current struggles, Vasseur remains optimistic. He believes that the collaborative environment is beneficial, even if immediate results aren't evident. Recently, tensions emerged during the Miami race as Hamilton expressed frustration over strategy calls. Vasseur downplays the incident, emphasizing the importance of constructive discussions after the race. He recognizes the pressures drivers face, asserting that the key to improvement lies in effective debriefs afterward. As the F1 European season gears up for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, all eyes will be on how Hamilton and Ferrari progress. Fans are eagerly anticipating the team's performance as they navigate these challenges moving forward. Today, we're diving into a fascinating proposal from Red Bull's team boss, Christian Horner, concerning potential changes to the Monaco Grand Prix, aimed at bringing it into the modern era of Formula One. Horner believes it's time for Monaco to move with the times, hinting at the need for exciting new developments in the race format that have long allowed familiar strategies to dictate the outcome. Monaco is notorious for its unique challenges, primarily because of its narrow, low-speed track that heavily influences race tactics. In recent years, drivers have often adopted a one-stop strategy, using their experience to protect their tires while maintaining crucial track position, an essential tactic due to the limited opportunities for overtaking on this tight street circuit. The problem is exacerbated by the current F1 cars, which are considerably larger than those from 15 years ago. The combination of these oversized vehicles and the track's design has sometimes led to what spectators dread, a race that feels like a procession rather than a thrilling competition. This past race was a prime example, with just one official on-track overtake occurring on the last lap. It was so tightly contested that Daniel Ricciardo clinched victory in 2018 despite struggling with a malfunctioning energy recovery system, showcasing how difficult it is to overtake on this iconic circuit. This year, in a bid to revitalize the race, the FIA introduced a two-stop pit strategy rule, trying to minimize tire conservation and shake up the familiar race dynamics. While this was expected to introduce some unpredictability, with teams forced to consider new strategies if a safety car or red flag situation arose, the experiment didn't yield significant change. Drivers ended up reverting to fairly standard two-stop strategies. And despite Max Verstappen attempting to gain an advantage by sticking to a one-stop plan, he ultimately had to pit again, losing valuable positions in the process. The reception of the two-stop rule was mixed among the drivers. Verstappen described the experience unfavorably, comparing it to Mario Kart racing, while fellow racer Lando Norris expressed discontent, and Oscar Piastri questioned whether this format was indeed what fans really wanted from F1. Beyond the two-stop idea, there's conversation around potentially introducing Monaco-specific guidelines to eliminate delays among teammates. However, Horner took a different stance, viewing the two-stop race as a marginal improvement over traditional strategies, emphasizing that it was strategically more engaging. He admitted there were still significant concerns to address, most notably the inherent difficulty of overtaking on the track. Horner suggested enhancements to the track, including expanding braking zones, particularly at critical points like the exit of the tunnel or turn 1. By allowing for longer braking distances, it could give drivers the opportunity to venture side by side, thereby facilitating overtaking and making the race more compelling. The call to assess and potentially redesign parts of the iconic circuit is gaining traction, especially with the evolving nature of F1. As cars become larger and faster, the need for tracks, Monaco included, to evolve is becoming increasingly urgent. Tune in next time as we keep you updated with the latest developments and how they may shape the future of this historic race. As we shift our focus to the latest happenings in the world of Formula One, it's clear that drivers must maintain their best behavior throughout the season. With race bans looming for those who accumulate too many penalty points, every decision on the track counts. Max Verstappen suggested a playful yet bold idea, adopting a full Mario Kart style for the Monaco Grand Prix. Imagine power-ups and whimsical obstacles surfacing in the iconic streets of Monaco. Let's address the current landscape of F1 performance. Where do our top drivers like Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, and Fernando Alonso stack up in the all-time points rankings? With each race, these numbers can change dramatically, making the competition fiercer than ever. Speaking of competition, when we dive into race wins, we see names like Verstappen and Hamilton dominating the charts. Their incredible talents have secured them a spot among the highest win totals in F1 history, now creating an exciting narrative in the racing scene. With midfield teams, especially Aston Martin, stepping up their game, the fight for development is heating up. Every race brings new dynamics as drivers like Lando Norris shine brightly, while others face unexpected setbacks, creating just the right amount of drama and excitement. Looking back at the Monaco GP, it was a mix of near perfection from some drivers and unfortunate mishaps for others. As we digest these latest results, it's important to reflect on the lessons learned and anticipate how these developments may affect future races. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into these exhilarating stories and keep track of how they unfold in the upcoming events. Lewis Hamilton's journey with Ferrari has been a roller coaster, especially during his first season as a driver for the iconic team. Recently, a moment at the Monaco Grand Prix raised eyebrows, particularly between Hamilton and his race engineer, Riccardo Adami. Despite the tension observed by fans and journalists, Ferrari's team principal Fred Vasseur assured everyone that there is no discord between the two drivers. Hamilton, a 7-time world champion, seems to be facing challenges in building a solid rapport with Adami. Just 8 races into the season, their working relationship appears strained, which has been underscored by numerous terse exchanges over race radios. One memorable moment came after Hamilton's difficulties in Miami, where reporters noted that unlike his previous experiences with Mercedes engineer Peter Bonington, he had quite different interactions with Adami. Responding to a journalist's remark about this, Hamilton insisted that he had reprimanded Bonington before, emphasizing that those types of exchanges are not out of character for him. During the Monaco race, Hamilton's frustration became evident. After experiencing a promising recovery at Imola, where he climbed from 12th to 4th place, he was not satisfied with Adami's responses while running 5th in Monte Carlo. When Hamilton inquired whether he was a minute behind the leaders, he was met with vague answers that only added to his annoyance. With the race in its final laps, Hamilton further probed. "But it doesn't really matter. I'm just asking, am I a minute behind or?" he pressed, seeking clarity, only to receive a lapse of silence from Adami after the race. Upon finishing 5th, 51 seconds behind race winner Lando Norris, Hamilton confronted the absence of feedback. "Are you upset with me or something?" he asked Adami, who remained silent. The lack of communication frustrated Hamilton, who later expressed his confusion over Adami's comments following the race, stating that the information given hadn't been clear. Ultimately, this glimpse into Hamilton's communication with his engineer illustrates the complexities drivers face in high-pressure situations. As Hamilton navigates his new role at Ferrari, his ability to build that essential connection with Adami could be pivotal in the races to come. With the season still unfolding, fans will be watching closely to see how this dynamic evolves. Lewis Hamilton found himself puzzled during the Monaco Grand Prix, stating, "What am I? I didn't know what I was fighting for." This confusion stemmed from the lack of communication with his team, Ferrari, especially during critical moments of the race. Despite the troubling exchanges over the radio, team principal Vasseur reassured fans that there are no hard feelings. He clarified that Adami didn't respond to Hamilton due to the driver's position on the track. Vasseur explained, "When the driver is asking something between turn 1 and 3, we have to wait until the tunnel to reply. This ensures clear communication during the race's intense phases, but it also left Hamilton feeling adrift." Hamilton's performance in Monaco was further complicated by his earlier penalty, resulting in a 3-place grid drop. Starting in 7th, he struggled to catch up with the leaders while stuck behind slower cars. After clearing them, he found himself in a lonely race, kind of in the middle of nowhere. He noted that a safety car could have changed his fate, but with no intervention, he ultimately finished the race without gaining significant ground on championship rival Oscar Piastri. With his current standings trailing behind by 63 points, Hamilton's frustrations are clear. It's a challenging position for the veteran driver, tethered, facing the pressure of the championship while trying to make sense of the unfolding season. As the F1 2025 championship progresses, fans are eager to see how Hamilton will navigate these challenges and work towards regaining his competitive edge. Adrian Newey recently made waves during his first trackside appearance with Aston Martin at the iconic Monaco Grand Prix. This was a significant moment as it marked not only Newey's debut with the team, but also provided insight into his integration process and outlook on their future. Newey, a legendary figure in Formula One, began his role with Aston Martin in March, immediately immersing himself in the ambitious project to design the team's F1 2026 machine. However, his recent comments underline the challenges that lie ahead. During his time in Monaco, it became clear that while he has grand visions, achieving notable performance improvements will require some time, as in his words, "Some of our tools are weak." In a candid media session at Monaco, Newey outlined his early observations and plans for Aston Martin. He emphasized that patience will be key as the team undergoes a significant overhaul. Newey is asking fans and experts alike to hold off on judgment for a few years while the team works to strengthen its foundational tools. When discussing these weak tools, Newey brought attention to the importance of one specific area that needs enhancement: the driver-in-the-loop simulator, a crucial asset for modern F1 teams. He acknowledged that the simulator is currently not functioning as it should, failing to adequately correlate with real-world conditions, which can severely hinder research and development. Driver-in-the-loop simulators play a vital role in Formula One. With testing time on track limited, these systems replicate racing conditions, allowing engineers to adjust variables like weather and car setup to create a realistic simulation environment. This facility enables drivers to fine-tune their skills and car setup without leaving the factory. Typically, a dedicated simulator driver spends countless hours refining setups, providing valuable data that helps teams on race weekends. This feedback loop is essential as teams aim to provide their drivers with a competitive and comfortable car that meets their racing needs. As Newey continues his journey at Aston Martin, the coming years promise excitement and transformation. The legendary designer's frank assessment of the team's tools serves as a critical reminder that although the road ahead may be challenging, it's a necessary step in achieving greatness in the highly competitive world of F1. With such a contender at the helm, fans eagerly anticipate Aston Martin's evolution and the innovative strategies that will undoubtedly unfold in the upcoming seasons. In essence, Adrian Newey's talent and experience, combined with a clear focus on strengthening the team's capabilities, lays the groundwork for what could be a thrilling new chapter for Aston Martin in Formula One. As we dive deeper into the complexities of Formula One racing, one can't help but highlight the critical role of accurate data in improving a team's performance. For Aston Martin, this challenge is particularly evident in their use of the DIL, or driver-in-the-loop simulator. Designed to aid drivers in fine-tuning their skills, the simulator must provide real-time feedback that mirrors the real track conditions. If that feedback isn't on point, the entire tool becomes less effective, leaving teams at a disadvantage during Grand Prix races. Newey pointed out that Aston Martin simulator drivers are often given setups that perform perfectly in the simulation, but fail to translate the same performance in the real-world Grand Prix car. This misalignment presents a substantial obstacle, especially considering the staggering investment required for cutting-edge simulations, which can exceed millions of dollars, not to mention the resources needed to sustain such technology. Addressing these challenges won't yield overnight results. Newey cautions fans to manage their expectations regarding Aston Martin's performance improvements over the next couple of years. He emphasizes the necessity of constructing a comprehensive plan to overhaul both technology and team dynamics, an effort that might take up to 2 years to manifest on the racetrack. Teamwork is crucial here. Newey believes strongly in tapping into the existing talent within the team. Transforming Aston Martin from a previously small but successful team into a large competitive one requires a more cohesive strategy and organization. As the pieces fall into place, we can look forward to a renaissance for Aston Martin, especially under the guidance of someone with Newey's extraordinary vision and track record in Formula One. Exciting times lie ahead as this legendary figure wields his metaphorical magic wand to bring the AMR25 to life in thrilling ways.